That hurts.
Welcome to the Fanatical Elfz Show, part of the Elfz Network. We are a bunch of wild and crazy Cleveland Browns fans, bringing you all the latest in Browns news. Tune in now. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Fanatical Elfz Show. We are coming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, and the X. Good evening, Steve Gill. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good considering. A little tired.
What for? Why could you be tired?
Was very industrious today. I'll be twice as industrious tomorrow and over the weekend. It's crunch time.
What's the crunch time for? If anybody pays attention to our podcast.
I am a self-employed accountant and I'm extremely busy. Trying to catch up from the stupid ice storm.
Taxes, and more taxes.
And taxes. Just a reminder out there, they've changed the postmark rules. So if you think you're going to mail your tax return on April 15th and it's going to be postmarked April 15th, it won't be.
Yes.
I would get it in the mail about the 11th. Just a little heads up.
I have a mail
Same
story.
with your extension. Same with your extensions.
How's the weather, by the way, Steve? We always start off with the weather report.
Oh, yesterday I got up to close to 80 degrees and the cold front moved through. I got up this morning. It was 40 with a wind chill of 32. It's like 53 degrees outside. It's going back down to 38 tonight. Another cold front will move through Sunday. And by Tuesday morning when I get up, it should be about 28 degrees. After a high on Sunday is 74.
Ugh, crazy.
Again, just don't plant anything until after tax day.
Which is when, Steve?
April 15th. A month from this Wednesday.
We did our taxes recently, so but we used the TurboTax product, and they've done a pretty good job. It's nice, it's convenient, but there are some
Intuit.
By Intuit, there's a little few extra costs that they don't really tell you. They're not really honest with you. They say that it can be free, but as we all know, there's nothing free.
Nothing free? Are you kidding me? There's nothing free in the world.
Well, yeah, I was going to mention about the mail too. I know those, get your mail in. We had a situation here with my family. We're looking at traveling down to Florida later this summer, and some of you might do this on occasion. I travel with family or friends, and we're putting some money down on a deposit for a place we're staying at. And we sent our money to the person that, is renting this house to us. And we sent this. Now, these people that we are talking to, they live up in Canada. And we sent the funds over 5 weeks ago.
Oh, yikes.
And like 3 weeks ago, we started chatting with these people saying, hey, have you gotten the money yet from us? And I know we have all these other products out there like Zelle and Venmo and everything like that. So this person we're working with, though, however, likes, the old time way of, money or a check or something. So anyway, it finally made it to Canada. We could have walked from.
Well, that's that's a different situation. That's international rules.
Well, that's
by
what
the way,
I was. Yes,
the IRS views a check as a natural receipt. So
there you go.
So
All
let's
right,
quit
Steve.
talking about the
Let's the
weather and
Browns. Let's
taxes
get
and
into the
the.
Brownies.
Let's
Yes.
get into the Browns.
They've done a lot this week. And, it's interesting talking to some of my colleagues and friends. And I've seen some of your comments in La La Land about some of the Browns' moves. And most of it is positive. They are really trying to beef up the new and improved offensive line. Let's start there with some of the different pickups. Can you go into a little bit of that and share because I've been
Well,
trying to keep up with everything.
our new offensive line coach, Worthop, his fingerprints are all over these guys.
Okay.
He likes them all. He likes what they bring. He even likes Tavon Jenkins. Thinks he can get more out of them. They're all versatile.
Yeah.
The Jenkins they signed as center is probably going to play center.
Okay.
He loves the Howard kid. He's a mauler. So if the offensive line coach is happy, then I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
What I was really mystified by the local media, they've been talking about big splash, big splash, big splash. And as I told you several months ago, there was not going to be a big splash.
Yes.
And Andrew Berry, even during his news conference at the Combine, said that they would be a little more aggressive than last year, which they have been. They weren't that aggressive last year. And they would be more targeted. Well,
Yeah.
okay. That's exactly what has happened. He actually did what he told the media that he was going to do. So what more do you want? I'm serious.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
So
very targeted, very strategic. They knew they were going to lose Devin Bush because they were never going to pay Devin Bush that kind of money. I mean, Devin
yes.
Bush is having a career year. The odds of him having back-to-back career years is an impossibility.
Yeah.
So, and they bring in Quincy Williams, who absolutely loves the defensive coordinator, Ruttenberg, and
Yes.
because he was a waiver wire pickup by the Jets, and our defensive coordinator turned him into an All-Pro. And he's a very fast linebacker. The Jets wanted to turn him into a downhill linebacker, and he didn't like that. So he's going back to his natural position. He's very fast, moves sideline to sideline. I think Browns fans are going to be very happy with this guy next to Schlesinger. I really am.
That's what there's been a lot of discussion about that. I mean, the fact that he played with the Jets and some things, has he really shown everything? And now coming into a very excellent defense. I was talking to my son Alec on the way up here to this undisclosed location. I'm in a new location. If you haven't noticed, I've got a kitchen behind me here. But he was talking about the Browns defense, and he was mentioning this guy that you just mentioned, the linebacker, right? That's going to be paired up with Carson.
Quincy Williams.
Yeah, and then coming into a defense like the Browns, we could really see some amazing things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they added an inline tight end, your number 3 tight end. They were talking with Charlie Kohler, the Baltimore.
You mentioned that name, yeah.
He got $8 million. Who's paying $8 million for a third string tight end?
Where did he sign then?
And he signed with, I can't remember. It might be the Raiders. I don't know. Everybody signed with the Raiders. They spent $280 million. So they still need to get a veteran. They still need to get a receiving tight end. Now they can pick one up in the draft. Your number 2 behind Fannin.
Yeah.
I don't mind Stoller as a third string. He's like an extra offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. You need all the pass protection and blocking you can get. I hear they're still looking for a number 2 running back. It's more than likely going to be a veteran because let's face facts. You need a number 2 veteran. That way, Dylan Sampson can concentrate on receiving.
Mm-hmm.
Wide receivers. A trade could happen during the draft, before the draft. You never know. They still like Brian Thomas, but the Jaguars asked for the 24th pick, and I'm sorry, that ain't going anywhere. So they've been sniffing around Calvin Austin of the Steelers, and they've done background checks on Juwan Jennings. I'm
Okay.
not going to say they're going to sign either one of them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they are looking at, but right now, free agent wide receivers are getting Dewan. What was his name? Dewan. I wanted the Browns to sign him. They got third wide receiver from the Giants. He got something like $78 million.
Well,
That's
and then the other kid,
ridiculous.
Doobs or Dobbs, or
Yeah,
he
Romeo Dobbs.
went to New England.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he got too much money, so it's probably going to be some kind of trade.
The fact that the Browns are loading up on the offensive line, do you feel like this is? I don't know what the Browns are going to do in this draft. People are asking me, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to take somebody? Are they going to move down with that number 6 pick?
They're still trying to figure out Rasheed Walker, the left tackle from the Packers. His
Okay.
price has come down considerably.
Okay.
So I would imagine they'd be on that, and that's not really a big splash if his price comes down. You notice you hear no rumors about him whatsoever, which I find interesting. So
let's talk about the other for the Browns, Joel Bitonio. Any news, anything that you have on that?
I got to thinking about this today. I'm a little pissed at Joel Bitonio. I really am. I mean, he gave the team a shot by pushing back his void date, and then he just lets it sit, and now he's a free agent, and they have to take the $23 million cap hit. I mean, what the hell? I mean, this team.
Do we know that for a fact? I mean, people are speculating that, but do we know
Well,
that?
we don't know that for a fact.
And I know you were always hesitant about.
I am hesitant, especially on these internal things. But the way it's looking right now to me is I've lost all respect for him whatsoever.
Okay.
I mean, you don't treat a team that's treated you very, very nice over the years like that.
But what I'm saying is we don't know this for a fact. So I'd like to find out all the details. We won't know all the details, but at least let's see what ends up happening. And I'm even more like, usually you're telling me to not, be, but I mean, I respect that. And I just don't know, like maybe he has been working things out, or they figured something out. And maybe this idea that the Browns are owing this $23 million or something in dead cap isn't really the case. But
unless they are letting him, he still hasn't decided if he's going to retire, and they're giving him all the space in the world, which would make sense because that's what they do. That's what they're doing with JOK. And maybe they told him to take his time. But if you go over and look at over the cap, which is very accurate, they have him listed as $23 million in dead money.
Okay.
So unless he comes back and says, I'm going to retire, then they can get some of that money. They can recoup some of that money.
Okay.
Because right now they're $1.8 million, $1.9 million under the cap.
Yeah.
And they can create space at any time. So they're not, I don't worry about them creating cap space. Very easy thing to do.
Well, I saw that post by Jack Duffin earlier today too about that. Yeah. And you got to, Jack Duffin's the best. Jack Duffin
is the best. He knows, and he knows Andrew Berry.
Unlike
his front office.
Unlike the people on social media, or not social media, the people on these local radios here, 850 and then 92.3, who, listen, I love Ken Carman. I know some of you don't like Ken Carman. I love Ken Carman. I respect him. I've gotten to meet him. I think he's really cool. Unlike Ken Carman had Jason Lloyd on today, who's just a moron, a complete idiot.
Well, Jason Lloyd talks down to Browns fans.
Oh, Jason Lloyd, listen, I told you this once, and Jason, if you're listening, I'm sorry, maybe you can change your tune and I'll have a different opinion, but I never met you officially, but I've seen you out there socially and amongst other Browns media personnel. And, he's on the song and dance right now about Shador. and he was on the radio this morning, and he's holding to all his stories and whatever. That's fine. But man, I'm telling you, the interaction I've seen amongst him, he just, like you just said, Steve, he has this aura, and how he presents it too is not very positive, and it really turns off a lot of Browns fans. And he likes to say, well, I've been doing this for 25 years, blah 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 blah. But I'm like, dude, I, you talk about
Well,
losing
then get with the
respect.
times.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, there are
Ken
people
Carman
on
was trying, yeah.
you
Anyway,
can find people on social media that know more than you do.
yeah, I
But
just,
anyway,
I know these guys who listen, and Steve, like I'm a couple things here, personally, I'm up here in Cleveland. I'm going to be covering the MAC basketball tournament for the women. I'm super excited about that. I covered it last year. I've had an opportunity to cover the Browns game last year, one of them, and that's where I got to see some of these people that I've always admired for years, listened to them, respected them. So it gives you a different perspective on things. And so it's just interesting when people that have been in the business for a long time, and with any job, I think sometimes you get tired of it. And certainly seems like when you listen to someone like Jason Lloyd, he just is tired of what he's doing. And maybe he just needs to change his
well,
profession.
I just feel him and Zach Jackson talk
Yes.
down to Browns fans. They are very dismissive of Browns fans. And Browns fans are pretty damn smart,
Mhm.
and they can figure things out. And but just to talk down to them is not you've got to. They're your customers. I don't talk down to the people I do taxes for. I
Good point,
encourage
Steve.
them. I encourage them. I'm nice. I'm
Hey, let's
kind.
Let's pause, Steve, for a quick commercial. I want to talk to you about a few other things in the NFL this past week that got a lot of publicity. We'll be right back. This is the Fanatical Elf Show. We are back. Thanks for tuning in to the Fanatical Elf Show, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of Fans First Sports Network. That's Steve Gill. I'm John Suchan. Shout out to Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. They shake the hand of the farmer. Great place down there in Mechanicsburg, Ohio. You should just go to their local. They have a factory in Mechanicsburg, Ohio. You can go tour the factory. It is cool, cool, cool. And you get amazing coffee.
Can you get a cup of coffee?
I think you can. Yeah, they have a little
Wow,
area. Yeah.
that's impressive.
Yeah, they have a little shop up front.
Oh,
Yeah.
how
I
nice.
love I love it. My wife and I been out there. We order 3 of their ground coffee that comes in the mail about every 4 or 5 weeks, and it's tremendous coffee. There's a lot of good coffee places, but I really have um really a liking to this Hemisphere coffee.
There you go.
Okay, tell me your thoughts. I'm interested in knowing what your take is on all of this stuff that happened with Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson and the Ratbirds.
Yeah. Okay. Let's face facts. They were about to make Max Crosby the highest paid pass rusher in the NFL. So that now their excuse is they were trying to sign both, even though either one of them didn't know that they were trying to sign the other one. And if they made Max Crosby the highest paid pass rusher in the NFL, that wouldn't really leave a lot of money for Trey Hendrickson. They got cold feet. That's just it. They got cold feet. They were about
Yeah.
to give up 2 first-round draft picks. And let me tell you something. The Ravens, for all their hype, they've got a lot of holes.
Mhm.
And I got a feeling that they were looking at their situation, and their new head coach was looking at this situation, and they just backed out of it. Now, it could have been pretty bad for the Raiders, seeing how they spent all that damn money.
Mhm.
But now they've worked it so they can take in Max Crosby's $30 million salary cap and still keep all the free agents they signed. So more power to them.
Mhm.
But the league has to do something about this.
Mhm.
They do. They should lose that first round draft pick. This is ridiculous.
Mhm.
They knew that he was only 6 weeks into his rehab. He couldn't pass a physical for any team right now. I mean, he's 6 weeks in on a rehab. They knew what they were getting, but they're going to get away with it. Now, if this had been the Browns or the Jets or the Saints or somebody like that, they would have come down heavy on them.
New England Patriots.
Well,
no, they're not the Patriots, but they would have got away
Patriots
with it.
got away with everything.
That's what I was saying, is that they'd get away with it. But yeah,
and
I
same
agree.
with Dallas. They'd get away with it too. But here's the bad thing that's going to happen. A lot of agents are really, really pissed about what the Ravens did. Now, remember, I keep saying it's a nice balanced dance that GMs and agents play.
Yeah.
You know, when you see Zadarius Smith get traded, they were doing him a favor. The agent remembers that. The next time that agent has a client and the Browns are interested, you might get a deal. You might get a strong chance you'll get a deal done. You pat my back, I'll pat your back. That's what happens in the gym. It's a song and dance. And Andrew Berry plays it extremely well.
Yeah.
But right now, agents are extremely angry at Baltimore, especially Max Crosby. I mean, his new contract would have made that agent a ton of money at that agency. So they're going to suffer there.
Show me the money.
This is the first time they've done it. They've done this before, and yet they get away with it.
Yeah, it's just a shame. It's a crime. They're scum. They are just sleazy. They're dirty. I don't like their organization. We all know why. It's just sad. And
their owner their owner is pathetic. I mean, he whined about the Browns giving Deshaun Watson guaranteed money because he was in a contract negotiation with Lamar Jackson. He was
spin it back to the earlier part of the offseason last year. As we prepped for the beginning of the season, what did the Ratbirds do? What did they celebrate? Oh yeah,
that's right. The anniversary of the move.
Yeah, thanks again in week 2. Yep.
They're gonna get away with it. But we'll see what happens at the owners' meeting. That's coming up. So
what happens now? Let's go with free agency now. It's still open. There's a lot of players that are still out there. A lot of Browns players that are free agents that are still available. Any expectations now? I know it's not. We've been at this for 3 or 4 days. Anybody else you think the Browns really need to go get?
They tried to get a really good corner, but he signed with somebody else today. I think he signed with the Titans. Okay. They were talking to him. They need to get a slot corner, and they need to get a safety.
Martin Emerson, where's he at? Is he coming back? Is he out there?
Well, he's still in rehabbing. The most they're going to give him is a show me contract, just show up contract and see how you are. But he's not a slot. I'm sorry, he's not.
Yeah.
They're going to need to find a true slot corner and another safety. I love Ronnie Harrison. I mean, but
Ronnie Hickman,
and Ronnie Hickman, but they still need a number 2 safety.
Greg Newsome signed with the Giants.
He's basically show up 1 year, prove it deal.
Yeah,
and the same with somebody else. I can't.
Devin Bush? Jed Wills. Yeah, Jed Wills. Have fun with that, Chicago.
Yeah, really. He'll probably be cut. But of course, they still need a tackle. And wide receiver and number 2 running back.
Does this change your, when you're looking at down the road now? Now we're starting to, we're fading. We'll start fading out of free agency. Is this changing how you look at what the Browns and Andrew Berry are going to do in this draft?
I don't know what he's going to do in this draft. Andrew Berry likes to be open to anything. If he's made a draft day deal, he did it during the combine, and we'll never hear about it. And it's a scenario type deal. Well, if this happens and this player, and you want this, and this happens,
okay,
then we'll be on the.
Is that what happened last year?
Yeah, that deal with Jacksonville was kind of finalized a week before the draft because every
Yeah.
teams are ready.
Hmm.
They're
Unlike how the
ready. They're
media, like, oh, the Browns are just shooting from the hip. They have no idea what
No,
the
they're
hell they're
not
doing.
shooting from the
I'm
hip. They
like,
know what they're going to do. They have their board set. They have it trimmed down to a certain number of players.
yeah,
And yeah, a week before the draft, they finalized that deal with Jacksonville. If because everybody knew Travis Hunter was going to be there at 2,
yeah,
and it was pretty much a guarantee that Mason Graham was going to be there at 5. I mean,
yeah.
the slotting last year was ideal. This year it's a little more shaky, but as everybody hits their
How do
pro
you
day,
how do you see it pans? I mean, I know you don't know, but how would you just looking at that top
Andrew
5, 6?
Berry does not like to be forced to draft a position.
Well, not just Andrew Berry, so like the other teams, do you think, like I told my son Alec, we were talking about it earlier, like it would not surprise me one bit if Andrew Berry, I know people don't like this, but they're gonna move down. They're gonna move out of the pick because that's what Andrew Berry has a tendency to do. He doesn't like being in
Not
that
all the
position.
time. He just
No,
did it
okay.
last year.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll do it in the later rounds. He'll
But he
move up,
moved
move
down,
down.
is what I'm saying. Like last
Yeah,
year,
last year.
okay.
He doesn't do it every year.
But we haven't had that. Well, okay. What other high picks has he taken in the past? I was trying to
Well,
go
it's been a
backwards.
while.
Right? Yeah, because of this whole stupid Deshaun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Who?
been a while. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It just depends on how the board falls the first 5 picks. You can guarantee the first pick, Mendoza.
Mendoza.
The wild
Who's who's
card is
two?
the
Who's
wild.
picking
That's the
two?
wild card is the Notre Dame running back.
Mhm.
Ideally, you don't want
Oh, don't do that. We took
take
Trent Richardson.
Tone. Well, no, he's not going to take him. I'm talking about the 4 teams ahead of him.
I know. I'm just telling
The
every team
Cardinals,
ahead
the
of him. Don't
Titans.
take a running back. That's bad. It's not going to work out.
I could see him going to the Cardinals or the Titans. I mean,
Okay.
I could the running back.
Yeah.
Then you've got the 2 Ohio State kids,
Yep.
plus Caleb Downs. I mean,
Well, who's the other? Okay, so I got Caleb Downs. I got Carnell Tate. Who are you talking about in that top? Sonny Styles.
I'm Sonny Styles and Averill Reese.
Oh, Averill Reese. Okay, yeah. Averill Reese will probably go first of the. Oh, you think of the Buckeyes? I mean, that's okay.
Depends.
He's defensive line, right?
I don't know. See, the Tennessee Titans just spent like $275 million on free agents, and they're still spending. They signed a couple more guys today. I don't know
Jeff,
what the hell.
hey
they're
Jeff,
doing.
thanks for watching us. He's saying I don't like we're sitting on our hands when it comes to the
Well,
quarterback.
this is
Yeah.
the interesting thing about the quarterback. Kyler Murray was never going to come here. He signed with the Vikings. That's where he was going. Geno Smith wanted to go to the Jets. He wanted to go back home to the Jets. So they worked out the trade. Who else was Malik Willis was never coming here.
Yeah,
That
hell
was a
no. I
pipe.
talked
That
about
was a
that was
pipe dream.
and I didn't
Glad
want
he's
that
gone.
dream. I didn't I'm sorry, the kid's not done jack squat.
Well,
now
now they're talking about now that Kyler Murray's in Minnesota, why don't we go after JJ McCarthy?
Well, stay away from the
JJ
Michigan kid.
McCarthy was
Please.
nothing when he was drafted. He was nothing better than a 5th-round pick.
No, and he's not listen,
Why should we pick up the mistake that the Vikings?
Yeah. Ugh.
No, thank you.
Jeez.
I know for a fact. I've heard. Let me not say I've known for a fact. I have heard the head coach is not too enamored with the current quarterback room in Cleveland. He's not thrilled with it right now, today. So, what are the Jets doing? Could they trade for Jameis Winston? Do you guys want Jameis Winston back?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's a great teacher. He's a great tutor. You just got to control him. Make sure he runs the plays you call and not the ones in his head. That's a possibility, but they are still
So the persona out there, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
They're still exploring the veteran quarterback market.
I agree that they need a veteran. My thing is, I get different messages from the Browns and from other people that when they talk about what you just said about Monken not being thrilled with the quarterback room. Are you suggesting that Shador, I mean, is not in the cards? Like Monken doesn't think that he is a starter.
No, I'm not suggesting anything.
Okay.
As of right now, as he looks at it and looks at tape, he's not enamored with the quarterback room. And he has mentioned Jameis Winston. He mentioned it early after he was hired. Some reporter asked him about it, how he felt about Jameis Winston, because he was with him in Tampa. And he goes, "Oh, I love Jameis. Jameis is and he just went on. But he's still under contract with the Jets. He signed a 2-year deal last year. Now, that leaves your usual suspects of Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. No.
What about Jacoby Brissett? He's going to be the starter.
He is going to be the starter in Arizona.
Okay.
Why? I have no idea. I have yet
Justin
to figure
Fields?
No, thank you. And forget about Anthony Richardson. Nobody even wants to trade for him right now.
Yes.
I mean, the guy has got a bad back, and his NFL completion percentage
now this is
little over 50%.
Tyler Simpson. We talked about this guy before. He's got 15 starts, and we all know, look at Anthony Richardson. 90% of these quarterbacks have no success coming into the NFL with such limited college experience. And I know people, and that's what bothers me about this Tyler Simpson stuff.
Well,
you think he's going to be good?
That's noise generated by people who want you to click on their draft analysis. Yeah. I mean, they were saying last year that the number 1 pick should either be Cam Ward or Shador Sanders. Same people.
Now, I will say this though. I mean, we've had this conversation. The guy that he's been on our shows with the Brown splits with Rod Bloom and his brother. I forget the guy's name. He works for CBS, but he's not a huge Shador fan. But he did say the other day that, in his opinion, that a quarterback like Tyler Simpson, none of the quarterbacks are as good as someone like Shador Sanders. Now, I know you don't love Shador coming out, but he's
especially since I've started going back watching last year's games. Yeah. I do it so you guys don't have to do it. And I think I am surprised I don't have a hurt neck from shaking my head so much like this.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this part. Because he is, I mean, I know it's the NFL and there's pressure and everybody, you just got to rise to the occasion. But he is coming in, all these quarterbacks, we talk about this all the time. These rookie quarterbacks come in, they don't have a lot of experience. They're expected to, be everything from the day one, usually in a lot of these situations. So he did start 7 games. He was 3-4. It's not like he did have some success. Granted that what you're talking about, you're shaking your head. I understand. I can see. I mean, I was at that Cincinnati game, that last game of the season, and, he was god awful in many moments. And part of that is because we had no offensive line and he, was being run over all over the place. But he did make some good decisions. But like you said, I mean, and that's where you mentioned Monken not being thrilled with the quarterback room. I understand that. It's just,
I'm not thrilled with it either. So, that makes 2 of
us. What is this? Jeffrey says, has to make Josh Allen type of jumps in one offseason. It's not going to happen. See, and this is where I agree
with him.
What? And that's where it's like trouble. It troubles me because this is where all this pressure comes. And I feel like it's unfair to these kids. And I granted, listen, Shador, he promotes himself.
This pressure comes from the fans who listen to the so-called draft experts.
Yeah.
Don't listen to the draft experts.
Yeah.
This quarterback draft is worse than last year's, and last year's is pretty damn bad.
Yeah.
Now, if everything falls right,
next
year's draft will be exceptional for the quarterback position if it all falls right and nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
But they need to find a veteran quarterback, and they are looking. I don't know who it's going to be. I have no clue, but they have to find a veteran quarterback.
Okay. Any final thoughts after that? That's a lot. You've given us a lot of good info tonight, Steve.
Well, again, free agency is winding down. You've seen a couple special teamers, D'Angelo Ross and the Ivy kid, both corners, who are good special teamers. So I'm glad to see Andrew Berry is concentrating with the money he has as he waits for other deals to happen, kind of bolster the special teams, because we all know that lost him at least 4 or 5 games last year.
Yeah. Game one.
Jets game would have been completely different. And, and they've only really lost Devin Bush, who they weren't going to re-sign, and Chris Edmonds, who was a nice 4th defensive end, but everybody's going to remember him for that Jets game and jumping off sides at the end of it.
Yeah.
So no loss there. They can find another edge. So my biggest concern, and they're working on deals, my biggest concern right now is finding a slot corner, a good one. I mean, Miles Harden had his moments, but he wasn't the greatest thing in the world. He was better than Cam Mitchell. And finding another safety, a number 2 safety. I just wish they would just go ahead and re-sign Rashawn Jenkins. Maybe they've got a deal worked out with him and they're just waiting. They told him, look, we're going to re-sign you, but we've got these other pressing needs we got to take care of first. I'd be happy with another Jenkins in the fold. That would make 3 Jenkins. We'd have
three.
The Jenkins trifecta.
Oh my gosh!
So I'd love it.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest concern. And just remember, Andrew Berry is going to be completely able to move to draft good players. He had a great draft last year. He wasn't focused on one position. I mean, he went against positional value in the second round by taking a linebacker and a running back that early, and both of them worked out. So I think he's got a good grasp on this. If they want to trade down, if certain things happen, they'll do it. Personally, if Carnell Tate's there, I take it.
Me too.
I mean, he's the best running back, wide receiver in this draft. Mekhi Lemon is good, but he's better.
I've heard great things about Carnell Tate personally from a colleague of mine that has a son that plays in the Ohio State team. And so they know some of these players, and they've said that both Carnell Tate, well, a lot of these players, but specifically Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, especially Carnell Tate, they said these guys are they're soft-spoken, they're hard workers, and I think either one of them would be obviously Jeremiah Smith would be, but Carnell Tate's a really good dude. So I look forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, I've been watching videos of practice with Chris Henry and Jeremiah Smith, and oh my God, Chris Henry is. This kid he's your next big wide receiver coming out of Ohio State. Jeremiah love him. Washington. Okay, see
Terry McLaurin. We've talked about him coming to Cleveland. So yeah, if we're talking wide
that would do it.
That would
maybe that's something that Andrew Berry has talked
Jeffrey,
about.
Thanks for if you're listening to us, Jeffrey, our
Washington
fan is commenting about the Love kid who is draftable, maybe could be taken by Washington, who maybe potentially move up in the draft and trade with the Brownies, and then in turn the Browns might get Washington's draft pick and wide receiver Terry McLaurin. So,
didn't he recently sign a new deal?
I think so.
Washington?
Yeah,
that might be a stickler, right?
Maybe it's a pipe dream. But hey, Jeffrey, thanks for your input.
I take the pick.
Yeah, I love it. Steve,
I mean, you moved down a little bit. You save a little cap money.
Steve, you got a show coming up on Sunday?
I do have a show coming up on Sunday before I get busy with it.
Cool beans. Steve is working very, very, very hard to
diligently.
I'm
working very diligently.
Well, everybody, I appreciate you tuning in tonight. Again, coming up next at 9 o'clock, Rod Bloom and his brother have a special guest on their show, the Browns Blitz. Tune in for that next. We appreciate you tuning in here to the Fanatical Elfz Network. Listen to us on Apple, Spotify, anywhere you listen to your favorite sports podcasts. We will be there. Type in Fanatical Elfz or type in Cleveland Browns podcast, and you will find us immediately. Steve, have a good evening.
Thank you, John. You too. And all you Browns fans out there, I hope you have a good evening as well. Go Browns.